Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and we are here this morning for RWBY, Volume 6, Episode 2. Oh, so I was making some tea, got the water boiling, or set the water boiling. And I went and took a shower, and I hopped out of the shower and grabbed the tea, and then I sat down, and I refreshed the RWBY page, and it's up. Yes. Awesome. I'm gonna have to make some RWBY paper pals. I call these things paper pals, by the way. I make them. They're paper cutouts, just taped to sticks with some wires in there to hold them steady. And I draw them with pencils and colored pencils and stuff. I got a feeling that RWBY's gonna need some paper pals. At least of the four mains. That'll be fun to do. Anyway, some things to talk about before we get into the episode. Last episode, with my reaction, there was a little bit of confusion. I want to be super clear about this. This video is the timer-based version. It will not contain a video of RWBY. Will not. The reason for that is that the video of RWBY is, first off, owned by, created by, and in all ways, all credit goes to Rooster Teeth. They are the creators, the copyright owners, and they deserve every bit of support that they should be getting from RWBY. Rooster Teeth has decided for Volume 6 that they are not releasing the videos on YouTube. They are still allowing fan projects, including reactions. But for the first week that RWBY is out, it is exclusive. It is only available via Rooster Teeth's premium streaming service, Rooster Teeth First. I'll put a link down in the description to the episode. If you click on it and you go to Rooster Teeth, it will tell you you can't watch this episode without a first subscription. I highly recommend getting a first subscription if you want to keep up with RWBY right on time. For those of you that already have a first subscription, you got no problem. This video will be timer-based. I'll sync it up to the thing, and you can sync it up to your own media from Rooster Teeth, the official source. They are the official source, and they deserve your support. They really do. I will also mention that Rooster Teeth has a 1-week free trial of Rooster Teeth First. So, if you must watch this episode of RWBY, but you don't know how you're going to pay for it right now, free trial, 7 days. Cancel anytime. Just shouting that out there because it's a thing, and Rooster Teeth deserves to get all views on their stuff for them, if that makes sense. They're the ones making RWBY. They put it out. They're the awesome people behind this awesome show, this awesome product. And yes, it is a product. And maybe you don't like thinking of shows that you love as products, but I do. I do like thinking of them as products, and I like thinking of the companies behind them as companies and seeing what they decide to deliver to me and what I am paying for. And the answer for RWBY has always been, I'm paying for something that I think is worth paying for. Ta-da! So, just want to make that very clear. A week from today, depending on when they unblock it, they haven't unblocked my first reaction yet, but they'll get to it. They're probably swamped with copyright appeals right now. So their way of doing things is if you put up RWBY content, then they block your video. And then you have to appeal that, and then they go over your video and make sure that it fits within their fan project guidelines. My reaction with the video in it should fit squarely within their fan project guidelines. If it doesn't, I'll be hearing back from them. But it should fit within their fan project guidelines and should be unblocked today, tomorrow, sometime quite soon, and I think it'll probably be faster in the future. So about a week from today, this episode will air on my channel with the full video in the thing. If you're here to try and find a way to get RWBY without going to Rooster Teeth and watching RWBY from the official source, you're out of luck. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to do that. I'm not gonna put the video in and blur it out and like make it transparent and put an overlay on. I'm not gonna do that. I respect their product. What I will do is I'll have a cutout at the bottom with the subtitles. I will watch this video with the CCs on. There will be a cutout at the bottom with the subtitles. I don't believe that that's anywhere near the experience of the visuals and wonderful thing that is RWBY. I don't want to detract from RWBY's awesomeness in any way. It is only there so that you can know what I'm reacting to when I'm reacting to it, should you be watching this video in the far future and not watching along with RWBY. And so that you can make sure that you're synced up to where I'm synced up throughout the video. Okay, that's all. Also, just because the way that I do the timer looks kind of funky if there's not actually like a little strip of video here with the subtitles. So, in any case, RWBY. That was long and blah, 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 but it's important stuff that needs to be said. Go support the official release. If you love RWBY content, go pay for it. Put your money where your mouth is. Vote with your wallet, because that is what makes things happen in this world. That is what gets things done in this world. Speaking of which, if you happen to enjoy my content, I have a Patreon. It's a thing. It's patreon.com/Teeaboo. I love all of you who are already supporting me. There are a few of you, and you are the best. You're the bomb diggity dog. I love you. But if you want to support this channel and what I do and the way I do it, Patreon exists. Also, you get some cool rewards. There's access to a private Discord for the Boo crew, and early access to a lot of my content. I'm changing up the way I do early access. So it will be early access to previously aired shows. So Evangelion, Sangatsu no Lion, Ginga Eiyuu Densetsu, and some other things that I'm watching that are already aired. I am 1 week ahead on, and then I'm going to start releasing the currently airing shows on time when they release, which makes this morning kind of crazy busy because I've got like 3 shows besides RWBY to do this morning, and not just react to, but render and edit and get out. So, crazy morning, but we're starting off the day with the most hyped thing of the day, and that's RWBY. Also, if you do like this content, if you appreciate this, hit me with a like. The subs are always appreciated too. We just crossed the 500 sub line, which is like, it's amazing. We just crossed 500 subs, I think it was 2 days ago? Yeah, it was 2 days ago. Crossed 500 subs. And I'm 1 day from being a channel in existence for a month. I started uploading on October 4th. It is November 3rd. 1 month, 500 subs, and now we're at like 560. We growing. It's good stuff. Anyway, I just wanted to shout this stuff out, and also, I'm going to mention this in every video for a little while. Ring the bell if you want to get all of my content. I've gotten some comments from some people, from some subs who have not gotten my content on time, and that sucks. YouTube is doing that thing that it occasionally does where it just doesn't give subs the things they're subscribed to. If you want to remedy that, the bell is the way to do it. That's all I'm going to say about it. Also, just a quick note. My last video, the timer-based one, with no copyright problems at all, no copyright problems, it got taken down for about 5 days, and it got taken down for a community guidelines strike. Listed as spam and deceptive practices. I don't think I deceived anybody in that video. It was RWBY, Volume 6, Episode 1, full reaction with timer. It was very clear that it was the timer-based version. I don't think I deceived anyone. What I think happened was somebody was pissed that I dropped Goblin Slayer. And they decided to flag this video. Please, in the future, not just for this channel, but for any channel, please do not flag videos as spam unless they're actually spam. Just don't do it. Don't do it. It's just, if you're wondering, it's an effective way to screw over a creator. It's really effective. Having that video down for most of the week that it mattered really hurt. Really sucks. Like, I don't make money off of views or anything like that. But what I do care about is getting people onto my channel so that they can experience all the awesome stuff that I have. And maybe a tenth of a percent of them decide that they want to support me on Patreon. I don't make money off of views. I don't monetize this content through YouTube. But I care about getting viewership, and I care about growing as a channel. So that kind of sucks to have a video taken down for like a week. So please, for all channels, for all content, if it's not spam or awful, don't flag it. Just leave it be. Throw a dislike on it if you have to, but just leave it be. Anyway, enough about that. I've already got 12 minutes recorded or something like that. I've got RWBY up. It's at 0.00 seconds. Let's just make absolutely sure that we are at 0.00 seconds and that we are loaded, because we want to be fully loaded so that when I hit the button, it starts playing right on time. And we are forcing 1080p, and English CCs are on. Good stuff. Alrighty. Let's get into it. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, I use a beep beep timer. It will be coming soon. It goes boop 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 beep, and on the beep and the green light, that is the exact frame that Rooster Teeth begins playing on my screen and thus in the video, and thus if you are playing along on Rooster Teeth, which you should be on first, they have a 7-day free trial, link in the description. I don't make money off of this. Just telling you, go support Rooster Teeth. They matter. They're doing important things here. They give us RWBY. Anyway, beep beep timer goes boop 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 beep. That's the exact frame. If you're playing along, that's when you want to hit the button. Let's get into it. Timer goes here. I don't like, why did that happen? I'm not using lots of processing power. Weird. Who is... It's Cinder. Holy shit. That makes more sense than anything. The hooded woman is Cinder. Yup. Yup. Also, we're gonna get some Oscar stuff this episode, just from the thumbnail. Oh, that was such a good transition. Oh, man. Rip in pieces. It's Cinder, and she's falling. She underwater? No, she's stuck in something. Still has her grim arm. We're gonna get some serious character development for Cinder? Whoa. Was that a trick of the light, or did she just create ice? Yeah, not feeling so hot. She's an outcast from Salem now. She could go on an interesting character arc. Like a really, really interesting character arc. Yeah. And she can't interact with people. Nope, she's still evil. Damn it! That could be so good. If she goes through a bad guy forced to be humbled character arc. Wow, that was a great shot of Nora. That was really good. Exposition. Okie dokie. Right. Okay, so what are they gonna be pissed at him for? Uncovered is the name of the episode. We gonna get some backstory, world building. Ah, oh. Okay. Yeah, what's the sacrifice? Okay, so it can't tell the future. Oh. When is the timer up? No. Nora. No, Nora, no. Yeah. Which was when? 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 When does it become active again, though? Do all the relics have interesting things like this? Okay. Ah, okay. We're gonna have Maria character introduction. I doubt she's defenseless. She's Dia de los Muertos themed. And her voice actress is Hispanic, I think. Oh, this is close to the scene. Very close. Ah. 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 So, how do they become ready to fight? Where's Ruby? There she is. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Unforgivable. Hmm. Ooh. What? So it does have a question left. So she is a Jinn. DJINN. And then we get time stop. So that was Ospin fighting Oscar. Oh, shit though. Do we get a backstory Genie? Give me a backstory Genie. Yes! Please be a backstory Genie. Fuck yeah. Oh, yes. It's a sexy backstory Genie. All of it. Everything. Cinder. Cinder time. Cinder time. What you up to, girl? Hiding away. Okay. Yeah, you might want to hide your face. Yep. Nobody notices the clawed hand. Nah. Symbol? Hmm. So conversation with the purple people. Ah. So are they the Phantom Troop? Ooh, she's got a Southern Belle accent. That's far enough. Here, have some monies. They're the Phantom Troop. Of course, not as badass, but if you ever take that tone with me again. Oh. Yeah, little bit. Batman style. Everybody here. So it's a criminal guild of potentially hunters. Interesting. Is her, yeah. Ah. Ah, so they do know about her. Okay. He'll tell them himself instead of allowing them to waste a question. Whoa. 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 Tell us everything about Ozpin's past. Oh, yes! Whoa. Oh, she gets to go to Exposition World? Welcome to the Exposition Dimension. Time for you to see. Ooh, they all go. Individually. The truth. Oh. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Yes, Exposition! It's Salem? Yo! Ha ha ha! What? Is that a cliffhanger? Fuck! Oh, you tease. You tease, RWBY. Oh, rooster teeth, you tease. These are storyboard sketches. Very cool. Very cool. So we get an exposition genie. That's so great. I can stop this recording. There's nothing I want to frame by frame or like look at in extraordinary depth. There are some things that I want to talk about though. There's some interesting things. So the first one is Cinder. During the reaction, I said, is she gonna go on an arc, right? Because unfortunately, in my mind, and this isn't a knock against RWBY or against Rooster Teeth or anything like that. I want to be clear. Like, I'm not trying to knock them, but from a storytelling perspective, they have an opportunity here. They have an opportunity here with Cinder, and Cinder as a character is. I like her character. I love her character, but she's one-dimensional. Really. She's had a bit of change recently with her severed arm and losing her voice and stuff like that, and knowing fear of RWBY with the silver eyes. Okay, a little bit, but in terms of her personality and who she is and what she stands for and what she does and all of that, she has not changed since we first met her. She is evil because she's evil. We don't really know why. She is Salem's loyal henchman to a fair extent, and she is evil. She bad. Now, that's fine. It's fine to have a character who's just bad because, right? But I think that there was an opportunity here, and I won't call it a missed opportunity, but they've decided not to take it in the way that I was sort of hoping that they would. And that is, Cinder has lost a significant portion of her power, and is wounded, and is essentially at this point cast out from Salem's crew. She would have to go and beg as what's his face, guy with the scorpion tail thing. Can't remember his name right now, but you know who I'm talking about. As he did, to go back to Cinder and sort of beg forgiveness. But there's an interesting thing that you can do with evil characters in a scenario like this. You can have them change or not change by having them in a place of significant weakness. And so here's the way that this would play in my head, in my headcanon alternate dimension of RWBY where this happens. Cinder's there and she's crawling out of the cave and like and cute nice lady with the basket of fruit comes up to her and is initially shocked by Cinder's grim arm, right? But Cinder doesn't look up at her with anger and the fire in her eye. She collapses instead. And perhaps when she collapses, the grim arm fades, or perhaps not. Regardless, the lady, and we don't see this, we get to hear about it later. Cinder wakes up in a bed, and there's food on the bedside table. Fruit, probably, because it would be a good thematic callback to the lady carrying the fruit. There's fruit on the bedside table. And we meet these characters, this family. And we meet them probably not through the woman herself. The lady herself is out. She's out still doing things. And we meet the husband, who is a gruff but soft on the inside character and does not trust Cinder at all. Not even a little bit. Cinder is in a place of total weakness, total vulnerability, can't even get up or feed herself, right? And this guy tells her something about, if you ever do anything to hurt any of my family, I'll fucking murder you. Don't do it. And of course, Cinder just can't do anything, so she just sort of lays there. Just like, ah. And they of course are totally distrustful of her, partly because of the grim arm. It would be helpful if she couldn't speak still, so that she couldn't try to explain or say anything stupid. Then, over the course of the next days, as she's recovering, she meets the children of this family, and is contemptuous of them. You know, she sort of sneers at them, like, stupid kids. But over time, grows to almost care about them. You could show that in a number of ways. Maybe she actually uses the grim arm to, like, grab a toy that the kid lost or something like that. Then something happens that threatens the family. Something serious. Something from Cinder's past. Perhaps a grim attack. Actually, grim attack would be right on the money. Be perfect. And Cinder protects them. And then Cinder recovers. She's recovered well enough to protect them. And she does so. Puts herself in danger to protect the family. Specifically the children. You know, maybe one of the kids goes off and plays in the forest, and the mother and husband are, like, freaking out because they can't find him. And Cinder goes off into the forest. Right? Maybe she leaves at this point. In fact, there we go. There's a good way to do it. So she is recovered for the most part. The kid goes off into the forest the same day that Cinder is leaving. She has decided to go on her way. She is grateful but won't show it to this family. And they watch her leave. She walks away. And then a little bit later, the mother and husband are talking, and they talk about how they can't find their kid. Cinder, on her way out, runs into the kid being attacked by Grimm. Cinder protects the kid, can't justify it, but protects the kid and brings the kid back and does it thanklessly. So leaves the, the kid's passed out maybe. Leaves the kid on the doorstep, and we see some tenderness from Cinder in that moment. But she sort of looks inside, and the family is doing whatever they're doing, and she just leaves the kid and walks off into the darkness. Now, after that, Cinder can remain the exact same character, right? But there's a hint to us that she's a human, that she's a person with feelings and the potential to change. And we can call back to that later and have her choose to stay on the path that she's on of being evil Cinder. And that just adds, like, it adds layers and layers and layers of depth to what is essentially a one-note character. It would be so good to have a scene like that. It would take almost an entire episode. And so I understand not doing it. Totally understand it. But damn, that would put some respect in me for Cinder and for the writing in the show. I don't know. Maybe that sounds stupid. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on it. That's gonna be my alternate dimension headcanon for this, though. Cinder, at a point of vulnerability and helplessness, is shown mercy and kindness by a family who does not trust her because of who she is and what she is, but they help her anyway, and she gains a shred of humanity. That would be really interesting. To me, in my mind. Does that sound stupid to you? Let me know. Comments. Always comments. Lots of comments. I love comments. But I wanted to talk about it because it's pretty cool. And, again, I don't think it's necessarily a missed opportunity. It's not the direction they want to go with the character, and that's fine. But it's a direction that they could go with the character. And that's something that I like to talk about. Anyway, the main thing this episode was, we figured out the Ozpin in the snow and everybody angry thing. He's hiding stuff. He's responsible for Salem. Pretty clearly. Gotta be. And now we have an Exposition Genie, which is what I'm going to call her. She's a Jinn, of course taken from Jinn, the genie in the lamp. And of course that's the root of the word genie. And we're gonna get some backstory, like hardcore world building backstory, which is going to probably show us Floating Boy Ozpin in the far past. Pretty interesting. Having an Exposition Genie is a clever way of doing this. Really is. I think it would be as clever, if not more clever, if Ozpin if his hand was forced and he was forced to tell them the story, instead of them using one of the genie's things, but he's so against them learning, and they probably wouldn't trust that he would tell the truth. So this way we get to know that everything we are about to hear is the God's honest truth of the RWBY world, and we get to see it in beautiful full exposition-y land stuff, which is pretty cool. So they cliffhanged us, because of course they did. It was a good cliffhanger. I respect it. So we don't get to find out until next week. Okay. Cool episode. I am hype. Absolutely. I mean, last episode was the hype train. This episode, I'm hyped for Exposition. Super hype for exposition, because it's something that we don't get a ton of in the RWBY universe. You know, we see things happen. We don't get lots of explanation of how they got to this point. We got a ton of it at one point with the Remnant shorts, but it still didn't reveal stuff like what the hell are Grimm and where do they come from? What is the history of this world? And we're gonna get to find out some of that stuff, which is amazing. So I'm hype. That's about it. I'm gonna wrap it up. This also, before I do, there's a question remaining, and it's gonna be an interesting one. I'll bet that question comes into play later, and I wonder what it'll be used for. I also wonder if the other relics have... Obviously, they have similar powers, but do they have similar limitations? Interesting. In any case, I've been Teeaboo. This has been RWBY, Volume 6, Episode 2. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.